Hey everyone, this is Edmund Fahrenheit. For Async Week, I focused on a monorepo management tool that I'll get into later. Monorepo just means one Git repository, usually holding multiple applications that share some code. All the tech giants use it. Google's the biggest, legit billions of lines of code in one repo. So I started the week learning React Native, a Node library very similar to React that allows us JavaScript developers to build both Android and iOS apps with one code base. Key differences being instead of the JSX that we're used to, we use native components like views and texts, which are just divs and p tags. Instead of CSS, our core components take a styles prop that can be customized with an imported StyleSheet class, like so. When I call npx expo start, I get a QR code to scan using the Expo mobile app to render a simple goal tracking app that I created. I can't show you on my phone in a screen recording, so after installing Android Studios, I press A to simulate the app on a virtual Android. It's a little slow because Android Studios is actually scared of the sheer computing power of my 2010 Mac. So then I wanted to build a full stack application like JPFP, but with a web and mobile app that relied on the same state storage, backend logic, and database, aka a monorepo. When I began the project, I immediately encountered dependency clashes from attempting to install both React Web and Native in the same project. So my Async week very quickly shifted its focus from a deep dive into React Native to how can I maintain and organize a huge project with so many shared and duplicate dependencies. Introducing NX, the focus of my Async week technology. NX is a tool developed by ex-Googlers. There's three main reasons to use NX. One, it helps you install dependencies and gives you boilerplate code through plugins, which I'll show you right now. So over here, I can add a dev dependency like React, and it'll store it in a package.json in the root of the project. I can generate a whole app or just a component and customize it to my will. A little off topic, but you can see it's generating TSX files, which is just JSX, but React TypeScript. TypeScript is just JavaScript on steroids. It's got static typing, so when you instantiate a variable like let myLooks equal 10, it's decided from that moment forwards myLooks is a number. So you can't do myLooks equals hello world later. It also gives you an error message if, as an example, you input a string to a function that's expecting a number. 2, you can share code across multiple platforms. I haven't done it yet, but NX gives us an apps folder for our separate apps, as well as a libs directory to hold shared code across those apps. In theory, I would put my Redux store, slices, routes, and database all in libs, while components and other front-end code would all go into their respective app folders. 3, NX can show us a dependency graph that really shines as projects grow more complex. When I get further into the project, in theory, we would have a DB, which links to the API, which links to the store, which then links to both dweb and mobile. When I make a change from anywhere down the dependency tree, the graph turns all the affected branches red to show how code edits affect the project. Now, since I've been lecturing you for all this time, I expect to be called Morgan 2 from here on out. That concludes my Async week. Thank you.